Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am really excited to make a breadstick with you today. These are my low-carb, gluten-free breadsticks. They're super delicious. They're dense, but also really soft, a little bit puffy, and you're gonna love them. They are definitely full of lots of greatness. They're full of greatness. So let's make them. I'm gonna be mixing in this bowl, and then I have the oven already preheated to 350 degrees, and I have a silicone mat, or you can use parchment paper on my baking sheet that we're gonna be using. So first I have a half a cup of almond flour, and then I have a quarter cup of coconut flour. And then I'm gonna mix those, and then I'm going to add some of my dry ingredients first.
Oh my God, I already used dry ingredients.
Yeah, my other dry ingredients, thank you. Now I'm going to add a 3/4 of a teaspoon, this is a little wet, 3/4 of a teaspoon of pink salt. 3/4 of a teaspoon of pink salt. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is like a thickener, it's a binder. So I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1. And then 1 more. Oh, these are halves. Oh no, okay. Huh. I didn't realize I was using halves. So that's now 1. Now I need to do another. Good thing I realized. Oh my goodness. Tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. You're gonna want to try these. So I only put a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Let me put another half. And then I only put a half a teaspoon, or like 3/4 of a half a teaspoon of pink salt, so I'm going to put another half. Okay, now I've got all that I need, and I'm going to mix it with my dry ingredients so that it gets well combined. And coconut flour and almond flour makes for a great combination. And now we're going to move this to the side a little bit. I have 8 ounces of cream cheese that I melted in the microwave for a minute. And I have 1 egg that I already beat. And I'm gonna mix these in this, and then I'm gonna combine it with the dry ingredients. So this is almost like a fathead type recipe for bread, but a little bit different. I'm gonna use my spoon. I had a spoon, oh, right here. I'm gonna use a spoon to mix this. And it's not gonna all combine, but it'll get a little bit combined. And then I'm gonna add it to my dry ingredients. Tell me where you're watching from. If you like breadsticks, put like them in the comments. If you do not like breadsticks, leave them in the comments. One day, my husband and I were on an anniversary trip, and we were in we were in Kentucky, I think. And I was making up new recipes while we were there. Actually, it's combining really well. And I decided to make something that was like breadsticks. That's what my goal was, and it turned out really well. I really liked them, and he liked them, and so I was like, okay, this is it. I got it. And I have not made them for you all yet here on Christina's World Kitchen. All right. It is just about you want to do your best to see if you can get rid of any of the like clumps of cream cheese. So that's just about gone. It's okay if there's a few. It's not going to be perfect. And then we're going to put it in here with our dry. And then we're going to mix the two. So these are great as a snack. They're great alongside your lunch. These are like breadsticks, so they're not like... you won't be able to use them for like a sandwich. They're in a different shape than that on purpose because of how they cook well. And then also you won't really use them, you'll use them like alongside food or as a snack. All right, so here we go. Getting all that I can of this great cream cheese, which is also a great binder with the egg that's a binder, so this all just combines really well. And then I'm going to actually bring this over here to help me out. I'm gonna combine all of this now. And tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. The whole world needs to know that they can have other options that are not high carb, that are gluten free, and that still taste really great and almost feel like you're not giving up what a lot of people have a hard time giving up bread. And this is one that makes it not so hard. All right, so I'm mixing, mixing, mixing. Now this is a dough that would be probably helpful if you do put it in, like I don't have the luxury of that in front of you, but if you put it in the freezer or in the fridge for like 15 minutes, it will be a lot easier to manipulate. It's a little bit of a sticky dough, so I think it's great if you put it in the freezer or the fridge for like 15 minutes so that it is much easier to manipulate. I'm gonna just use water to help me not stick, but again, if you want to make it not challenging for yourself in that way, then put it in the fridge or the freezer. I like the freezer because it goes faster. I don't like to wait. I like things to go faster. I'm impatient in that way. Okay, you can see that it's kind of airy. It's a bit of an airy dough, which is great. And actually, the more that I'm pushing it and kneading it a little bit with my spatula, the more that I don't actually think it's gonna stick very much. It's not really sticking. These parts are already there. So you might be actually okay. Well, we'll see how it goes for me if you decide that you want to chill it a little bit or if you want to go ahead and just do it straight up like this. So now you can see we've got this nice dough, and we're gonna bring over our silicone mat with a baking sheet or parchment paper. Either one is great. And I am going to actually, I need to wash my hands and make sure I wasn't touching any of that stuff, but now I will. So I'm gonna wash my hands and make sure that we are ready to go to use, to form this dough. And I'm gonna let my hands be a little moist so that it's easier to manipulate. Now we're gonna make them into like a shape, like a, kind of like a snake, like this. Kind of like you're playing with Play-Doh or clay. You're gonna make it into like a dough-like shape, and you can make it as long as you want. You can make mini breadsticks, or you can make longer ones. I'm gonna make probably this, about this size. It will expand a bit and will like blow up a little bit. Nancy, awesome. This is the first time, Nancy, that I'm making this recipe, which I first created in Spanish. So it's written in Spanish. So write down the ingredients. I'll restate them because it's not yet written in English on my blog. It's the first time that I'm making it on this page in English. So now that we have this, you can make it longer if you want to, or wider. You don't want it to be over. This is pretty good, but it doesn't have to be this small. I'm gonna move you all back a little bit so you can see better. And then we're gonna do one last step to these. You do want it to, you can press it down a little bit so that it's easier to cook like across. So once you have that, then you can push it down. And it does work better, so I am seeing that it is sticking to my fingers. When I have more water on my fingertips, it's easier. So either chill it or get water on your fingertips. I will need to get some water on my fingertips for the rest of these. So once you have these, I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do with them because I'm not gonna make them all in front of you right now. It doesn't make sense. It will probably make at least, probably about 8 of this size. And once you get it on the sheet, you can kind of push it down. And I'm gonna show you the last step. And then you're going to bake it at 350 degrees for 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. You want it to be golden. If you need to flip it and make it golden on the other side, that's okay too. The last step is to make little indentations. with a knife. So you don't have to cut it all the way through, but you're gonna make little indentations. It's also great when you eat it, it's gonna like pull apart at those indentations, which is really fun. And that is it. When you, 5 minutes before it's done, sprinkle some pink salt on it, sprinkle. And I love having that little extra saltiness. I know that like Olive Garden breadsticks that I used to love had that extra little saltiness on them. So you can sprinkle some pink salt, take it out of the oven real quick and sprinkle some pink salt across all of them when there's like 5 minutes left. And then you've got it. This is it. These are the low-carb, gluten-free breadsticks. Let me know if you go ahead and try them. I would love to know. And I would love to know when you would like to eat breadsticks. Usually at dinner is when I eat breadsticks, but you can eat it. Actually, the girls just had leftover spaghetti from the other night with zucchini as the noodle. And this would be great alongside that too. All right, have a wonderful night or day. It's day time. A wonderful day from my house to your kitchen. Global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.